very word secrecy is repugnant in a free and open society.
Hello everybody and welcome to Dolphin Radio. I'm your host, the porpoise with a purpose, with a face for radio and a voice for photography, Dolphin. And this video is all about labor. So let's get right into it. There are three types of labor: basic labor, skilled labor, and professional labor, and each has its own unique set of characteristics, qualities, and values. Let's start with basic labor. Most jobs in the labor market fall under this category, and though basic labor positions are regularly mocked and looked down upon, it is inarguable that basic labor positions are necessary, and regardless of the levels of prestige that are associated with them, somebody has to do them. A few examples of basic labor include retail positions, including lower and middle management, general construction, sales positions, most bottom-level government positions, and the like. Basic labor positions are generally characterized by low compensation levels, simple on-the-job training, and little to no experience or education necessary. I cannot think of a single minimum wage job which does not qualify as basic labor, nor any basic labor position which requires a college education. Generally speaking, any person can be put into any basic labor position with minimum training and still be able to do their job effectively. The highest turnover rates are found in basic labor positions, and accordingly, they are the easiest jobs to get. But before you disparage basic labor, remember, with all of its downsides, basic labor positions remain the most integral part of any functional industry. Now let's move on to skilled labor. Positions in this category define the bulk of what we here in the United States call the middle class. These jobs include police, firefighters, EMTs, as much as computer programmers, low to mid-level engineers, nurses, and generally speaking, any position requiring a specific skill in order to effectively do them. Educational requirements for skilled labor positions include a college degree or apprenticeship completion in the field of study in which they pertain, but also have a much increased compensation rate for the people working the jobs in this category. Turnover rates for skilled labor tend to be much lower than those of basic labor, and quite often, skilled labor positions offer a greater degree of job security and benefits packages. Finally, we have professional labor. Professional labor is the smallest category of the labor market, and includes positions such as doctors, surgeons, and high-level government positions, especially elected positions. But it also includes jobs like authors, CEOs, top-level engineering positions, and others. Quite often, professional labor requires the highest levels of educational accomplishment, such as a master's degree or a PhD, but can also, on occasion, be attained due to extreme natural talent, as is the case with high school dropout Bill Gates, or extreme charisma, since high elected offices and top-level performance positions are also included in this category. But these are more often the exception rather than the rule. Professional labor positions have the highest level of compensation and benefits, and often require a public persona as well. Oddly, however, in the fields of job security and turnover rates, these positions tend to have the greatest variance of results. Doctors, for example, have high job security and low turnover rates, whereas CEOs and elected officials, whose jobs attract a great deal of public scrutiny in their performance, tend to have little to no long-term job security and higher turnover rates. These positions often exemplify the idea that the higher one climbs, the further they fall. Now, before I end this video, I'd like to address a field of employment that the sharper minds of my audience may have noticed that I have avoided: the military. When it comes to the military, the same three categories exist and are often simplified into the analogy of grunt, officer, and general. However, military skilled and professional positions tend to have their focus on military education and experience, and have the lowest turnover rates due to the nature of the military. They also often offer less attractive compensatory packages and greater benefits packages. Basically, when it comes to the military, one could describe its labor pool as a microcosm of the public labor market. Well, that's it for this basic overview of the three types of labor. Thank you to all of you who have hung in there with me for this long, as I know that, however useful this information might be to anyone not born to the purple, it is rather boring in its presentation. I will be making more entertaining content in my next video, but I have been meaning to make this for some time now. So hit that like button, it really helps my channel out, and don't forget to subscribe. As for sharing this video, If you know somebody approaching that age where they find themselves considering what they want to do with the rest of their life in the fields of labor and education, or just some dissatisfied laborer stuck in a rut, send them this, and hopefully my work may influence their perspective on what is out there for them in the job market. And happy fishing.
Trading your hours for a handful of dimes. Gonna make it, baby, in our prime.